Alright guys, welcome. Got something I think is going to be really special for you guys to look at with Mr. Hogan's swing. Here is a 1964 swing from the Shell match in Houston with Sam Snead. So we're going to do just look at some shoulder motions in his swing. And we'll start with this screen on the left. So first of all, we're just going to look at the backswing, the shoulder plane. So kind of a flat shoulder turn compared to, some people I believe are possibly under the delusion that the shoulder should turn on an angle pointing at the ball, and that's just, not even possible. I think if we were able to project that shoulder line, and that's not exact, but that's very close, it's probably at least 6 feet pointed past the ball. So there's his shoulder plane, and then we're going to look at impact. Close as we can get. Okay. So here's another thing. When I was growing up, there was some thoughts that shoulders should be square at impact. Not even close with Mr. Hogan at impact. So let's say, camera's blurry, perhaps he's 2 frames, 3 frames past impact. We can't be sure. So here's the cool thing I want to show you. This is not something we developed. This is work done by Gregg McHatton out in California. Absolutely brilliant teacher. If you're out there, I would suggest you definitely go see him. So they developed this 3D model of Mr. Hogan's swing from 1964 film footage, and really just amazing stuff. So let's use this model and just go back to that point I was talking about. So there's impact, and I'm going to help clear this up a little bit. So there's his actual shoulders at impact, and fairly close to what you'd be seeing over here on the left in reality. So that's not square. Okay, this would be a 90-degree line. So his shoulders were definitely a little bit open at impact. Now, here's the other fun thing we can do. Let's do a trace of just the left shoulder. And what I'm going to do here is put a little mark at the beginning of his swing, so we can see, should the left shoulder shoot straight up in the air on the downswing, or at what point should the shoulder be going up? Because there's some discussion that the left shoulder should go up really quick on the downswing. So let's take a look at what he did. And I've slowed this down quite a bit so we can go frame by frame. And you'll see that white line is tracing the movement of his shoulder. So we can go back and pretty much plug that in. So here's another thing he did, and we'll talk about this in a future video, of course. We'll see this blue dot's going to steepen right there. So that's actually a steepening move in the pivot that accompanies some other movements, like I said, we'll talk about in the future. But that's kind of his first move. And if we go back and look in video, it's a little bit harder to see that. So that's one of the great things about this tool that Gregg developed. So now let's keep it going. Is that with this tool we can see some things we can't really see from video. So now the shoulder's going to start moving back up its own plane and impact. So in reality, his left shoulder's exactly the same height at impact that it was at address, and then we'll see it's going to climb up the plane. Now we'll go over here, and that would be about the same location in the video. Yeah, probably about there. And on to the finish. So there's a left shoulder trace. Now let's do right shoulder. And actually, let's go back in and mark right shoulder at address. So the right shoulder is going to climb up that plane. And now in the transition, it's going to get lower on the downswing. Sorry, it's really hard to sync these up. Let's go to impact in the video and let's watch the trace of that right shoulder. There's impact. So look how much lower the right shoulder is at impact versus address. So not only can we see the reality of what the shoulder was doing in relation to that plane, but we can see like an exact path that the shoulder moved on. So it moved inwards and up, downwards and slightly out, and then slowly moving back to the inside. So this is just like an introduction. We're going to do probably quite a few of these looking at different body parts of Mr. Hogan's swing, but some pretty cool toys and some new ways to look at Mr. Hogan's swing that we weren't able to see before. So let's make sure you guys give this a thumbs up if you like it for sure. Let us know, and if there's some other specific parts of his swing you want us to do next, put that in the comments box, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.